What is going on, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about Sega or Nintendo. So recently Retro Bird did a video where he kind of discussed this more along the lines as, how when we were younger, and some people are still like this, fanboys and everything, you're either a Sega or Nintendo kid. You're either a PlayStation or Xbox, that's really it, guys. So growing up, I was kind of a mixed bag. I had the original Nintendo. Going from then, I had the Sega Genesis, and then I hopped up to PlayStation 1. Now, it wasn't until my early 30s ish that I actually finally got a Super Nintendo. But that wasn't out of choice, guys. Growing up, we kind of struggled with money. So the Genesis was cheaper than the Super Nintendo. So while all my friends got Super Nintendos, I was the one Sega kid. And I only emphasize Sega kid because that's what I had and that's what I got stuck with. So when he went in and talked about it, he kind of talked about how one of his favorite games of all times, I think, was Rocket Knight Adventures, and how everybody always, was like, well, then you're a Sega kid because you're a Sega fanboy because you like that game. That's your favorite game. Wrong. Just because something is your favorite game on a certain system does not mean that institutes you're a console fanboy for that console itself. I can tell you right now, one of my favorite games of all times is Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. I usually try to once a year play through both of them, and fully try to beat every level, trying to mess around and do stuff like that. I'm still not very good at Super Mario Bros. 3, so I tend to use warp whistles every once in a while. But Super Mario World in general, I try to play through that. So does that mean that I am specifically into just Nintendo? No. I like all consoles, and I've always kind of been that way too, except for there was a time where, I don't know, once again, I said that we didn't have much money. So when I grew up, we got one console, and that was usually what we got to, until I discovered the beauty that was GameStop. I say that with some sarcasm because, it wasn't that, but I went through so many different consoles because of that place. I would trade in my PlayStation and all games and get a PS2. After a while, I traded my PS2 and all those games to get the Xbox because I wanted something different, and so on and so forth. So throughout the years, I really just jumped from console to console. It wasn't until the Xbox 360 came out that I really stuck with that system for the longest time, and then hopped on over into Xbox One from that generation on. So am I an Xbox fanboy then? No. It wasn't until after that I finally got a PS4 about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. I hadn't had a PlayStation since the PS2. That's how it worked. I never had a PS3 at the time, and I just really, after that, went Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So am I a Sony fanboy now? No. I know you guys are seeing where this is all coming from. I'm obviously a Zach of all trades, you could say. But as of right now, I will say that I lean towards playing my PlayStation more than anything. I really love playing my PlayStation 5, all the new games, and even playing PS4 games that I missed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I am just a Sony fanboy. Over the years, I had missed great games like Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man, and some other Sony exclusive titles that were not on the other system, like Uncharted and stuff. So now that I finally was able to get a PS4, I was able to play all those games. So right now, I basically just have a huge backlog of Sony games that I need to catch up on. Because like I said, I had the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One for so many years. And it just comes down to what you want to play. Like right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. You'll see me talk about this game all the time in all my recent videos because that's what I'm playing in and that's what I'm really into. But it's really just not the only game that I play constantly, though. I do pop in the Switch. Like earlier tonight, me and my wife played a few rounds of Wheel of Fortune and a few rounds of Family Feud. And occasionally I will, obviously play some of the older retro games on my Switch because they have an awesome thing set up there. You can play the 64 games, you can play Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Game Boy, and everything on there. So I will play the Switch just to specifically play games like that and have save states and stuff. And it really just goes back to what one of the topics and thing we were talking about earlier. Just because your favorite video game is on a certain console does not make you a fanboy for just that console. Retro Bird went on to talk more about that too in that video, and I absolutely loved seeing that. And I love his channel. I will put a link to either the video or his channel in the description below. You guys need to check him out. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you're following this one, following my channel, I'm sure you followed him. I love the way that he talks. I love his style and everything, and it's just really awesome to see. But that really comes down to it, guys. So I know at one point we kind of joke around about the PC Master Race, about Xbox live or die, Sony, you know, first or last, whatever you want to say with this. But in all actuality, these consoles are just, what do I want to say, a shell or a vessel for us to get out our gaming needs and to break free from reality and just enjoy something to get lost in for a while. And I just think that, you know, if we'd ever just give up on the actuality that we have to like one console over the other, we'd all, you know, what do I want to say, live together in peace more when it comes to gaming topics. I know that, you know, obviously PC is one of the stronger out of all of them because you're able to emulate almost any other console onto it. It has the capabilities of better graphics and stuff down the road. But the big con, I think, when it comes like with PCs is how expensive they have to be for you to be able to play some modern stuff and very good graphics. And I just like consoles in general. Now, I know I love the PC part of the aspect coming nowadays because you can play the PlayStation controller on there. You can use an Xbox One controller on there and all that stuff. So I really love that aspect of it. But it's just something to me about sitting down and playing a PlayStation or sitting down and playing an Xbox or just sitting down and playing the Switch. I really just, like, I want to say spread the love. That's what she said. Amongst all the consoles and just enjoy everything. Don't limit your one favorite game, or don't think that somebody, because their one favorite game is, like I said, Mario, one of the Marios or something like that they're specifically a Nintendo fanboy. I don't hear it as much. I should say I almost don't hear it as much as I used to, where people were labeled, you know, specifically what console they liked and stuff like that. It really is just nowadays. I might just see every once in a while see a comment on Instagram or something like that. You know, maybe a hashtag PC Master Race or hashtag, you know, Nintendo fanboy and stuff like that. More people just saying, you know, if people are complaining about bugs or complaining about games and stuff like that and how they work, people will be like, well, if you just got a PC, you could do this. And if it came up to me, what I really wish that these, you know, companies would do would just come together and just, like, no more exclusives. Game together, make games for, you know, I just really hate exclusive titles because everybody's comfortable with a certain console, and the fact that you have to buy multiple ones to play certain games too really upsets me. It really frustrates me. Right now, like I said, I had the Nintendo Switch, I had the PS5. I don't have an Xbox Series X yet. But when games like Starfield and stuff comes out, and I'm unable to play that even though I'm a huge Bethesda fan, it really frustrates me, especially when certain companies too buy certain licensing. Like I said, pretty soon here, I think, you know, Xbox Series X has been buying up companies left and right because the PlayStation and Nintendo have held on to these exclusive rights so much that now all these companies have to do this to get to certain games. I am fortunate that I do have a PS5 because games like Spider-Man 2 just came out, which I'm very excited to play, and hopefully we'll get to next month. But it really just sucks, guys. But I enjoy the fact that I am able to enjoy all consoles and all companies and just play the games that I want to play. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Are you a Nintendo fanboy, PlayStation fanboy, Microsoft fanboy, or are you like me where you just like to play whatever's out there and whatever you have? And do you still see this nowadays with people that are so, what do I want to say, stubborn, so bullheaded that they only do, you know, live or die with only one console? Make sure you comment below what you guys think about this topic. And once again, I would just like to say thank you guys all for watching my stuff and commenting and really just hanging out, guys. It really means a lot to me, and I love, like I said, make sure you guys check out Retro Bird. You're gonna love his channel. Everything retro on there is freaking absolutely amazing, guys. You need to check it out. So with that being said, guys, as always, stay retro, my friends, and I will see you in the next video.